All right, man. We are episode 5, bro. Episode 5.
And it's still good.
It's still good, man. I'm loving what I'm getting.
Like I'm not getting that
I've been
feeling
talking to
of
people,
like
and they've been saying people have told me that season 1 was their favorite season.
it. Season one was good, but honestly, for me personally, it got better. Probably season two kind of definitely picked it up.
See, this is my first time really watching season 1 like closely. Like I told you, when it was on Netflix, I kind of was
Actually, no,
watching,
that's not true. That's not
and I
true.
was like, it was more times I would like watch it going to bed.
Right.
And I would catch some things. I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. But now this is my first time actually being able to watch. And actually, now that I have to pay attention, I'm taking notes on it. Now I'm really getting a deeper look on the stories and how things are playing out.
It's like, now I think about it, season two, the end of season one, right before Ultima Lucha, and right around that time is where it did get like really good, and then it never looked bad from there.
Well,
Like
right now we are in the introductory phase, so
I know,
usually the first 10 episodes is really where you start getting an idea of the core and the gist of what you're going to be getting into in this
right?
series. So let's go ahead and start off with how everything started here. I got my notes. I'm pretty sure you didn't take notes. You just got everything
I
in that.
just consumed.
Okay, Jimmy Neutron. All right, so we started off as usual. It seems like we always start here in Dario Cueto's office. Conan
Love that.
uh, was basically trying to get a street fight between my boy, not Ricochet, and
Not Ezekiel Jackson.
not Ezekiel Jackson. Big Rick. Shout out to my boy, Big Rick, Ezekiel
Yeah.
Jackson. What was it? What was the name? It was some
Boyle Heights Street
Boy Heights
Fight.
Street Fight because I think they were in Boy Heights when they
Yeah.
recording. So kind of made sense there. It's almost like that, when WWE pops up into a big city, they have their blank blank street fight.
Yeah.
So it's pretty similar there.
Miracle on 34th Street Fight
Yeah,
every
there it
Christmas,
is.
or Trick or Street Fight
There,
every
so
Halloween.
just a big thing, street fight. Nothing like spectacular. But we'll
But
get to the street fight in a little bit because there
yeah,
were some things that really happened here that really are going to, and something that was quite spectacular. Even though I think
spectacular.
we'll get to it. Let's not jump the shark here. So we start off with Mil Muertes versus Drago.
This is good.
And the first thing I noticed was Mil Muertes, like, why was Drago turning away from Mil Muertes? Like, dude, look at this man in the face. Why are you, like, looking away from him when the match starts?
Huh, I didn't notice that.
Maybe it's because I listen to Cornet here and there. I listen to a lot of the OGs and old heads listen
Right.
to their stuff. And so that's something that they've always talked about. Like, they always get agitated when they see wrestlers, like, turning away from the wrestler. Whether, that spot where we bump into the ring and I'm like, go run the ropes type thing,
Yeah.
and then you run and turn your back. It was one of those things.
Oh.
Which actually, I think we're gonna get to something that was similar to that later on in the show. So we'll keep going here. The power slam was pretty scary.
The what?
The power slam that Mil Muertes at the Drago. That was there, and I thought he almost got him on his neck,
Ah.
but thankfully that was not the case. Um, then I realized not Santos was just like lurking,
Yeah.
which is another thing with this entire episode. There was a lot of lurking going on. Was it just me, or did it look like Mil Muertes slapped the ref? Maybe I just missed something there, but it looked like it was this point in the match where it looked like Mil Muertes was slapping the ref. So I hope that wasn't the case because he did not get DQ'd, and we have seen already that Lucha Underground isn't afraid to disqualify you.
No.
Mil Muertes wins this match after a flatline, and then sealed by the lick from Katrina, and then she kissed Mil Muertes. So I didn't know there was some romantic relationship here until that moment.
It's it's not, but I'll explain why in later seasons.
Okay. So as of right now, I'm still under the assumption that this is some.
Yeah, it ain't. It ain't.
Is this similar to Son of Havoc and Evilise?
No.
Is this darker? Oh jeez.
That's why I think I love Lucha Underground so much.
And
It was
then
very dark. I know Lucha Underground was very dark. Like
Yeah,
that's the way I
King
like
Cuerno
it.
comes in to basically pick up the scraps and get his get back on Drago for beating him in the past episodes. We got a video pack for Johnny Mundo.
Nice, nice. I was wondering why he was fighting outside with his shirt off.
Well, he's just weird like that. And so they kind of brought this whole story
Like,
from where he came from.
like he
And
was
those
fighting.
who do not know, we're talking about John Morrison. This is after he was released the first time.
Yeah.
And so they kind of brought that whole story about how he wouldn't basically suck up to the authority and made his own path.
Which he
And
did.
now it led him
Yeah, so he
to
did.
Lucha Underground, which everything there was pretty spot on. So that was pretty cool how they basically brought it all together. And again, this is how you develop a character. And I'm liking the development of the characters we're seeing with these packages that they're putting out.
This is how you introduce people.
Yes, absolutely. Next we got Dario Cueto congratulates Mil Muertes and Katrina. And then Katrina basically interjects and says that she knows that Dario has something hiding.
Right. I mean,
And she basically alluded to being something very dark.
Yeah, what was dark? You've seen the key.
I've seen the key. The
Yeah.
heck is this key to? The Forbidden Door?
Well, I mean, considering how many wrestlers from everywhere showed up to Lucha Underground, I mean, it might as well have been.
So there's more Forbidden Doors to open?
Yeah.
Is he the Forbidden Door before Tony Khan was the Forbidden Door?
He kind of was.
What?
Really think about it.
Kiss me through the phone.
He copied my whole fucking flow.
Oh,
word for word,
shit.
bar for bar.
Oh,
Don't act like I didn't.
Alright.
Oh, I mean, it kind of is the Forbidden Door because, like, but most of them came from AAA. It's not really the Forbidden Door. The only one outsider in it was like maybe Chavo and John. And Ricochet was already on the Indies, so it's not really forbidden.
Yeah. Moving on here, we have Son of Havoc versus Masquerita Sagrada. I didn't really have too many big things to really say about this one. This was pretty cool for what it was. The hero notes that Son of Havoc isn't much bigger than Masquerita. I was like, dang, he's not fully wrong here.
He's really not.
There was another lurker. Who the heck was that girl?
Wait, I must have missed
There was a
that.
lady that was lurking up at the top.
What did she look
And
like?
for like, she looked.
Did she have a
She
mask
was white
on?
passing. I don't know if she was Hispanic or not, but she was definitely white
Did
passing.
she have a mask on?
No, she you could see
She
her
was white
face.
passing?
Yeah. I can't confirm or deny whether she would like brunette or blonde, but she was definitely white passing, so she could have been
In the
Hispanic.
crowd.
Like, you know, in the top of the steps.
No, I know, but I'm saying I'm
So
trying
she
to.
just stood there. They made note, and then they panned over to her walking away.
What she dressed like?
Well, from what I can remember,
Don't
I
get
think
it
she was
twisted,
in
people.
a
I watched the
dress.
episode, but that was like a couple days ago. So don't. You can't really hold me for that.
I watched it Saturday.
So
I'm
yeah,
just
so you
looking
can't
up
hold
my
either of
notes.
us. You know?
Yes, I'm a bit confused on where they're going with this, but
Well, don't make it make sense. You
Yeah.
know they will.
I mean clearly, but it's just something that definitely gives you a.
But she
a
was
cliffhanger
she
into
did
the
have
next
dark hair
episode.
though. She did not have dark hair. And she wasn't
I
Dustin Booth.
cannot recall.
Okay, friend.
I can't recall
thinking.
the extra features. I just knew she was white passing.
Why you keep saying white pass?
Because I don't know if she was white or if she was Hispanic.
You can't say like.
But from
white.
from my eyes, I would say she was a white woman.
Yeah, I gotta let me look at it because I'm wondering what you keep saying.
No, I don't know what else she want from me in
No,
this
it's
situation.
just-
She
it's
looked
just-
like a white woman.
It's just like I don't know why it's just messing me up.
And
It's just saying
even in
that.
my thought process of thinking back to all the characters that I remember from Lucha Underground, I cannot think for the life of me who this woman is. Like, Katrina always would stand out to me. Because she was, if I'm not mistaken, she was in like the NXT with AJ.
Yeah, she was Maxine. I think her name was.
Right. So Katrina always sticks out to me because I was a fan of that season of NXT. Even though I like the NXT does not hold up, I was low-key a fan of that NXT because of AJ. So
AJ Lee.
yeah, AJ Lee. So that one sticks out to me, but for the life of me, I still can't figure that out. While you go through that, I'm gonna continue on my notes.
Go ahead.
That could be,
Chavo, sexy star.
yeah,
you forgot all about that.
Oh, well, Evilise kicks Masquerita, and I made a quick note here, and of course, my guy Blind Knox didn't see it, so of course Rick Knox isn't going to see who that person that happened. Moving on, Masquerita wins this match here, which kind of makes sense. Homeboy has been getting clapped quite a bit the last few weeks of Lucha Underground. Moving on, we got Sexy Star versus Chavo Guerrero.
Oh, that one.
It wasn't as on site as I thought it was going to be. She just stood there for a little bit, and I was like, "You said it was on site. Why aren't you on sighting him?"
That's Evilise.
I said that was a push. She tried to push Chavo, and he basically was like, "Nah, that ain't gonna go." He told her to hit the rope. So you remember I told you the hitting the rope situation.
Yeah.
So this is where it comes back into play. He told her to go run the ropes and whatnot.
Right.
And as soon as she turned her back to him, he just dropped her. Basically, like Trent Williams did on Sunday.
That was hilarious.
But we'll get to Trent Williams later on.
Hilarious.
Pardon the interruption, but let's go ahead and talk. So I know there's a lot of people out there that deal with wanting to wear hats and things like that, but you don't want to mess up your hair. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. I'm a brand ambassador for King's Crowning. Yeah, that's right, King's Crowning. They have dad hats, fitted caps. As you see here, they have little halo turbans that I absolutely love. Look at me, man. Just look at this red turban that's sitting perfect in my head. Don't you just want one of these? Well, use my code Unbounded1. Get 10% off your next purchase. What y'all waiting on? Go get one. Trust me, you won't regret it. Then he kissed her, which was interesting. Here comes the choir. Oh, here comes the chair. So the chair was interesting.
Here comes the choir.
Dog, I had a moment. I thought there was an O in my notes, but it was an A. But here comes the chair. She just low blowed the ref. And here's Penta. So Pentagon comes out, and then Phoenix comes out, the same Sexy Star. So they're going to add into that whole thing there. So it looks like we're probably going to get right there. Right there. They're going to show it. They're going to show her again when you see it. And so I guess they're going to set up Pentagon and Chavo versus Sexy Star.
Oh, yeah, no. First of all, that one was Asia.
Is that EO?
No. You're way too early.
I'm about to say.
You're way too early.
I'm about to say, was she introduced this early?
No, she was not. But no, that's not EO.
Well, still, she looks white if you're not paying attention. To be fair, what are you watching this on?
My phone.
What website?
Internet Archive.
I watched it on Daily Motion. I had it like 250. It had like the highest you could get was 240p. So I'm like,
this is the highest I can get. I can't even control
I
can't even control the quality on this one.
No, if I would have done it the way I have been watching the first 3 episodes, which I've been watching on Prime, I probably be able to tell you better that was an Asian woman. Well, moving on, we're moving on to the main event here. Big Rick versus Not Ricochet. As expected, Rick was dominant at the beginning. Not Ricochet hit a Sasuke special with a little bit of a corkscrew.
Nice.
Basically, the majority of this match was a 3-on-1. Because, like we said, it's a street fight. There's no DQ, so Rick's little cronies can join in and do whatever. There was even a spot in this match where Rick took a seat
and let the boys
just like feast, which kind of turned and didn't help him in the long run because Not Ricochet was able to get a comeback in and then basically kick him out of the chair. Um, can we go ahead and get a consistent name for this weapon? Is it a Singapore cane and Singapore stick, or a kendo stick?
Well, how many
Because
different
I
names
heard
for it
kendo
did you hear?
stick and Singapore stick on this show, and both from Stryker. I just did that. Rick sells it. No, so he hit him with the stick. Rick no sells it. There's a ladder and a table. Johnny Mundo jumps from the sky to the ring to make the save. It's like take Rey Mysterio's song and just put it to Johnny. Like, who's that jumping out the sky? Johnny Mundo. That thing. I couldn't tell. So this is where things get very interesting now because we've already seen how Conan is telling, they're feeding information into Puma about Johnny not being for him.
Yeah, like staying
And
out of his
so,
way and all that. Yeah,
granted, this was Johnny getting into Puma's business, and then it cost Puma the match because Johnny. And I couldn't necessarily tell. I couldn't get a good look at the facials here. But I'm just gonna say there was an inadvertent hit
it was
to
definitely
Johnny.
inadvertent. It was definitely inadvertent.
Or was it?
Mm-hmm. It's up to you.
And that's the thing that you kind of, that's that little cliffhanger that they left you with, because now it's going to come up and see where are we going after you just cost this man his match. So a lot of really good stuff came out of this show, man. I really enjoyed this episode. Continuing stories, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they progress.
Makes sense.
Yes, they all make sense. Nothing too insane, so definitely great stuff going for it. Anything else you want to add before we get up out of here?
I love how everybody is involved in something. There's nobody just there to show up and do whatever.
Well, Master Sagrada is just there to pop the crowd.
But I'm saying at the same time, he's still involved in the storyline. So
Yes.
you know. So yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right, that's it for episode 5, man. See y'all later, and check out the rest of them. If you haven't watched the other 4, go check those out. They will be at the end of at the end of the episode. Just click that playlist and enjoy. We out of here.
I'm on the rail, I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Facade get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails, I'm flipping.